Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I'm going to give you guys my review and my impressions on the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare campaign. I do want to talk about as many spoilers as I can, so I'm going to give you guys a spoiler-free little review here in the beginning, and that is that this is an average Call of Duty campaign. It is definitely a lot better than the Black Ops 2 and the Call of Duty Ghost campaigns, but that's really not saying that much. I would say this is on par with Modern Warfare 3's campaign. It's almost an in-between. I feel like it's a little bit better than Modern Warfare 3's campaign in terms of storyline, and it's a little bit weaker than, I would say, Black Ops campaign with the whole Mason Russian brainwash kind of thing. And so it's a little in between there. The gameplay itself is actually very fun, and I love what the little details they did with it. It's very polished, it's very clean, and the cutscenes are gorgeous. I mean, during the whole launch thing with E3 and Gamescom and all this other stuff, I thought this game kind of just looks like Black Ops 3. It doesn't really look next generation. When you play this campaign, you definitely see every single next gen detail in there. I mean, Kevin Spacey is in this game. It's really good, except for like one little cutscene. He kind of looks weird, but you can see his pores, you can see his emotion, you can see all of his Kevin Spacey-isms, you know, the beauty that is Kevin Spacey. It's a very solid campaign, but it is still just a Call of Duty campaign. You know, it's not going to be the next Last of Us. It's not written by Telltale. You're not getting The Walking Dead. You're getting a Call of Duty campaign. There is a little bit more detail in there than previous years, but it's nothing that's going to be the next Emmy winning, you know, Golden Globe winning, whatever. So that's my spoiler-free review. Now let's talk spoilers.
The last 4 years have been huge for you. In the wake of the KVA attacks, Atlas has become the world's biggest corporation, and you now preside over the world's largest standing military. So what's next for Jonathan Irons?
I love what they did with the HUD in this game. They really made you feel immersed in this world because they put the grenades and the ammo counter on your actual gun. You don't have a radar, you don't have a mini-map, you don't have the grenade counters or the ammo counters. It is just on your gun, and for a couple times I thought that I was like EMP'd or something because my screen was just so blank. It was just all on my gun, and I really loved the way that felt. I love running through the world, and it was literally just my gun. And of course you get some other stuff on your HUD that you see pop up like other counters, but for the most part I feel like they took as much time and as much liberty as they could to get things off of your screen and onto the actual in-game real world, and I really like them for that. It's a very good feel to the game, and one thing, if you know me, if you want me to like your game, you have to make me believe I'm in the world, and taking away the HUD and putting it in the actual real world game, that's one way of doing that, and I really like what they did. Continuing on with what I liked the gameplay in and of itself. There was a good mix in between gunfights and vehicles. Of course, I've always felt with the Call of Duty campaigns there's a lot more vehicle stuff, just because that's the time they get to do it. But man, some of the stuff, it's just like, man, that would be so much fun in multiplayer, and it would be easily balanced. You know, you could do that. I just wonder, it feels a lot more polished than multiplayer does. You know, this feels like a complete package, and multiplayer feels like a little bit more of an add-on, which is really unfortunate for a Call of Duty game. But the campaign, I think you're gonna enjoy it. I think you're gonna enjoy the gameplay. There's lots of good locations and a variety of areas you're playing in. I was entertained throughout, and that's something that's difficult to do, especially with this storyline. And now we're gonna get to the negatives. I feel the negative in this is the plotline and the character development. Yeah, the character development is not any better than any other Call of Duty you've played. You're basically introduced to this character, and by the way they carry themselves, you're gonna learn what they are, who they are, through that. So you know, you meet Cormac, and he's this really strong leader, and he's the good guy. He's obviously the moral compass, especially later down in the story. And you meet Gideon. He is this, is he Austrian or Australian? I think he's Australian. I'm sorry for those people. I'm not good with countries and accents. But anyway, he's just super awesome with an accent, you know, a whole into the... He's basically the Gaz of the story, and he was probably one of the other characters that I grew to like a little bit, Gideon. And Ilona, the girl in here, I liked her. She had some good little development there. But other than that, you really don't care. Spoiler alert, Cormac dies at the very last mission, and which brings us to the negative about the plot. The plot is just so Call of Duty, and you're either gonna love it or hate it. Personally, I can turn off my brain. I can say, you know, it doesn't matter the storyline, I'm just gonna shoot people. And there's just so many cliches. The reason I brought up Cormac dying is because they did like 2 cliches right, or 3 cliches right in the same cutscene. They had Cormac die without finishing his sentence. He's like, almost there. He's like struggling. He's like, almost there. Almost. And then he dies. So I'm like, oh, that's cliche number 1. And they're all kind of, you know, Ilona, what's the guy, Gideon, and yourself. You're trying to, like, you know, what are we gonna do next? Or how are we stopping Kevin Spacey? And so Ilona's like, no, we can't do this, it's suicide. And then Gideon, like cliche number 2 coming up, goes, it's what he would have done. And he refers to the guy who just died. And it's just like, that's so cheesy and stupid. And of course that's what he would have done. That's like, and then we get to the end of the cutscene, and you yourself, Mitchell, that's the guy's name, he goes, do you have a plan? And of course Gideon, the action movie one-liner goes, just one. Like, this, it was so cliche, it was so cheesy, and at what was, I felt, supposed to be a very emotional moment, I was just laughing and giggling because of how ridiculous it was. I mean, it was typical Call of Duty action movie stuff. However, going deeper to that, the actual story itself feels very choppy. It feels like they were trying to trick you in the actual campaign, but you kind of knew already from the trailers and everything what was actually going to happen. Before I say anything, whatever you think happens or could happen or might happen, happens. Alright, yes, as you're going through this, you're like, I wonder if this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen, right? There's no doubt, and that was disappointing for me. You know, you have this beautiful actor of Kevin Spacey. He's so genius. He can do incredibly good. He can do incredibly bad. Make him do in between. He can do in between. I feel like they wanted us to feel conflicted throughout this campaign, where I had no confliction in my body whatsoever. During the first couple missions, you're introduced to Hades. Yeah, Hades. Kind of subtle, right? Thanks, Call of Duty. That's good writing. Let's name him the devil. Let's name him Hell. And that'll be subtle, right? No, we get introduced to Hades, which is cliche bad guy, right? Completely cliche. We are playing as Atlas or the Marines, depending on the Marines first level, and then you move to Atlas, and you're gonna go try to take him out. You take him out, and as he's dying, as Hades is dying, he gives you something, and he's like, you know, you don't know the full story or whatever, and it's just like, what? Plot twist. And it seems very out of the blue, like, why would this cliche bad guy do this for us? And it's never touched upon again. We never hear about him again. And then we have the not so subtle plot twist of, oh, Kevin Spacey is actually a bad guy. And this is where the moment was for me. I was like, this is either going to be a really awesome storyline, or it's going to be cliche Call of Duty. Unfortunately, it went cliche Call of Duty. And by that I mean, we went from Jonathan Irons, Kevin Spacey's character, being this really honorable, you know, I get things done, I end wars kind of guy, to I'm gonna rule the world. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, just straight to 100, no gaining speed whatsoever, and there is no moral ambiguity here. This guy turns into a really bad guy throughout the campaign. Kevin Spacey, and I feel like Sledgehammer's really trying to convince you that, hey, maybe he's not such a bad guy. But then it walks you through like internment camps, it walks you through him killing people, murdering innocent people, torturing people, and it's just like, no, dude, you're not going to convince me that you're in any way a good guy. You're not going to try to make me feel like conflicted, like, oh, should I kill him? Should I? No, you're torturing and murdering hundreds of thousands of people. I have no care for you anymore. I'm going to stop you. You are now cliche bad guy. And at the end of the level, end of the mission, end of the game, Kevin Spacey's like, I could have killed you here. I could have killed you here. I could kill you now, but I'm not going to. Because I'm not a monster. I'm like, no, dude, you're not gonna kill me because I need a way to kill you in 5 seconds. And it's just really disappointing that's the way they took it. I will say on the internment camp, when you guys are captured, walking through, it's a very good atmosphere, like I said before. With no HUD, you're walking through, and as you're walking through these things, you're kind of like wanting to look around a little bit, get some atmosphere going on, get some details. And even Gideon is like, you pay attention, any detail could save you. And so as you're walking and looking around, if you look too far, you'll get hit, and he'll say, eyes forward, the guard behind you. You'll get hit, you'll go straight forward, and he'll say, eyes in front of you, or whatever. And you'll notice that these line of these guys in orange jumpsuits are in this little pit. And you can't look at them because you'll get hit. And so as you round the corner, you hear gunshots going off. And that was a very, very good detail. I was amazed at that. I was like, wow, that's really good for Call of Duty. And so the pieces are almost there for this game. The pieces are almost there. You just gotta cement that little, like, is he an anti-hero? No, he's a straight up villain. Alright, so we've got to clear that up, and that kind of part felt choppy to me, but other than that, it's a good, solid Call of Duty campaign. You're not getting Call of Duty 4, you're not getting Modern Warfare 2, you're not even getting Black Ops or World at War. But if you're waiting for a patch to come out, if you're kind of bored with multiplayer, this is a good way to spend, I don't know, like 5 to 6 hours just grinding through this. It was entertaining, it kept me entertained, and tell me what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, have a great day.
Get ready to bail out! That's it! Everybody out! Move, move, move!
Falcon 2-2, coming in for a gun run.
That's our bird! Moving to PC posture!
Standing by to load passengers.
Load up! Load up! We're up! 4! We're up!
Confirmed. 4 packs on board. Hold on.
Shit! Should have scrapped it. One step ahead of you, mate. Nice work, soldier.